Hi there, Leanne here from Reboot Mindset Training, and I wanted to just give you a quick reminder that communication issues in the workplace, they're not due to the fact that people are lousy communicators or they don't think. It's actually down to the fact that they don't know how to communicate with the person they're talking to. Imagine if you could do some kind of here's a guide to working with me session, and everybody knew exactly how to frame a conversation for that person, for that person, for that person, for that person, without having to lay awake at night, without having to be direct, without having to scratch their head afterwards thinking, what the hell just happened? Well, you know what? There is such a thing, and it's only 90 minutes long, and I guarantee you it'll transform your workplace. I want to give you a bit of a heads up about what it is. Not sure if you've ever heard of it, but the click colors approach is almost the culmination of all the big profiling tools out there. The profiling tools are fantastic, but you know what they're not great at is being simple to understand. A lot of people that want the tools will invest the time to read through their reports and learn about it. But for a lot of people, it's very overwhelming and it's very difficult, or they're busy. They just simply don't have the time. So that's why Click Colors has actually taken all the best bits and put it into a really simple approach that takes 90 minutes and completely changes your workplace. So I want to introduce you to four of the Click Colors characters and give you a little bit of an insight over who they are and what they do. So you can actually think, oh, I work with someone like that. So I want to introduce you to the analyzer. So the analyzer is the person who they prefer spreadsheets over small talk. They like you to get to the point. They're really not that interested in pleasantries, not because they're mean or they don't care, but they're at work to get the job done. They're not at work to expand their friendship network. So they can come across blunt, critical, dismissive, but it's actually because you're not understanding what it is that they need. They're actually none of those things. But imagine if you've got someone who gets to the point and they're dealing with someone like this, the carer. Now, the carer is the person that wants to hear all about your weekend, even if they're really busy. They know everybody's coffee order. They'll bring muffins to work. They've got this radar for anyone that's not okay. And they take responsibility for those people's emotions and often workloads. These are the ones that are going to be working late and getting exhausted and actually being a magnet for the people who are underperforming because struggle is a bit like the mating call to the carer. They're going to step in and lighten the load. Can you imagine if these two were in a performance appraisal meeting together? Here's the boss, here's the staff member. So they walk into the performance appraisal, and the analyzer goes, you know what? You've done really well this year. And I've highlighted two or three points where I reckon you could do even better. So I've booked you in for some training. What's this person going to do? This person's going to go straight to, what have I done wrong? I've just worked so hard on this project. And all you can do is pick out what I've done wrong. They get up in their head, they feel like a failure, they lose the ability to speak English, they might even get emotional. This one kind of thinks, well, if you've got an issue, take a tissue. This one walks out in tears. This one is completely confused because they've got no idea what just happened. Because in their mind, if they went to a meeting where someone said, hey, you've done great, and I've highlighted some areas for strength. I've enrolled you in some training. This one would be living the dream. So I can't quite work out why this one is so upset. But imagine if this person knew how to say that exact same thing to this person without them getting upset. And in fact, having this person leave feeling valued, motivated, buoyed, and really, really up in performance. So let me introduce you to the last two. This one here. This one here is the fun person at work. You can often hear them saying things like, I've just had an idea. They get really excited. Without meaning to, they will often derail a meeting with the latest cool story they've heard, or the latest cool thing they did, or the joke that they just can't sit on anymore. They're not great at meetings. They're really difficult to manage, not because they're difficult people, but because these people are excitement seekers. They need things to be fun. They need to be engaged. They need to feel a sense of connection. They need to feel a sense of purpose. They need to love what they do. So if you're going to give them a project that takes a lot of monotony or it's boring, these people are going to glaze over and they're going to appear to be inconsistent, not following through, unreliable, bit flaky, bit childish, lots of fun, but just really, really difficult to keep on task. And it's not that they're any of those things, it's just that you're not understanding what it is that they need. So, what happens if you're one of these? So, the safekeeper is the person that's in a relationship with their to do list. They know how the dishwasher should be stacked, and you can often hear them as they're restacking it because it's not that hard. They know which way the toilet roll goes and may even change it, even if it's not at their house. These people are the ones that they need an agenda for the meeting and they need you to keep to it. They really, really like predictability, not great with surprises. So you can give them a really complex task and they will thrive. If they ask you to do something, they need to know that you're going to do it by the time you say that you're going to do it because it's an unsafe environment for them if you don't. So can you imagine if you've got this is the leader and this is the staff member. This person here is trying to get this person to understand the importance of risk assessments and project completion and responding to meeting invites and listening to what's involved. Whereas this person here is just off in their head, apparently off with their fairies and very, very difficult to manage. So these two are arch nemesis to each other. And it's hard because this one is going to need excitement and fun, whereas this one does not need that at all. What they need is consistency and predictability and certainty. So these two are working together. Likewise, imagine if this is your leader and this is someone they're leading. This person here is going to deliver that performance appraisal in a really vague way. You've been awesome. You know what? There's been a couple of glitches, but you know what? We're all still alive. It's great, yeah, and they're probably going to get off track a lot. They're probably not going to focus in on what is required for improvement or what needs to be done because this one here is all about the cool stuff and wanting everyone just to be happy because this person just wants everyone to be happy. So you can imagine that if this is the leader and this staff member says, "So what do you want me to focus on today?" And this leader goes, "Oh, well, whatever you're working on is fine." This person feels really unsafe. They feel uncertain. Therefore, they get up in their head thinking they can't do their job and they believe that they're a failure. But they're not. It's just that these two don't know how to communicate with each other. What if this one knew exactly how to motivate this one and get them to be their best workers? They follow through every single time, they get stuff done, and they click instead of clash. Imagine what could be different in your workplace if everybody knew what everybody else was and knew exactly how to communicate with them. The carer knew that they needed to be direct to this one. And no, it's not rude. They don't need to do the introduction, the lead up, the explanation, and then soften their message because this one doesn't want that. This one actually wants you to get to the point. But this one here feels the need to actually give you all the backstory. You've already lost this one. So if you would like to actually do a really fun 90-minute click colors session with your team and have all of the light bulb moments go off and everyone going, oh my gosh, and everyone getting on the same side in terms of communication and knowing exactly how to talk to that other person, let me know. Happy to run a session for you. It is groundbreaking. And I tell you what, the other guarantee, you're actually going to learn how to interact with your partner, with your mother-in-law, with your kids, with your friends as well. It really is a magic trick. You can reach out to me at rebootmindsettraining.com.au. Just let me know. Leanne, I saw your video on click colors. I want to know more and I'll tell you more. Have a great day.